It was just so different.
Okay, well, moving on.
So there
from
you
that,
go. You got this is the insight into my family.
No, that's fine.
We're all very different.
I just there's a few people I would think of who I'd be interested in their reactions to this movie as well. But
it would be interesting to see how.
If you don't think about something, though, it doesn't mean necessarily that you agree with it by tacit assumption. It's just that you hadn't thought about it, and maybe he just doesn't think about the films at a particularly deep level.
No,
maybe that's all it is to it.
Oh no, I'm not saying he's a.
Yes.
If he was in that case, he wouldn't do that.
But it is slightly worrying that he can't see, the moral implications of this because they're pretty stark.
I don't think he was looking for them. He was just enjoying the film.
Just enjoying the roller coaster that was that movie.
Yeah, so
yes.
It's funny.
And it was too.
But that's what I mean. So what you and I get out of the film might be different, and what other people get out of it will be different again.
Yeah, well, this is it. Maybe we've been doing this too long now.
But it shocked me because my brother got something completely different from it than I did, but then my mum got something completely different from it. And I thought, that's three different views.
May I ask, is it okay if I ask what she got from it?
Well, she got it. She goes, there's something wrong with him. And I said, yes, Mum, there was a lot wrong with him. And she goes, but it was interesting how he suddenly started running this as a business and how the news group were, what they were allowing and not. So she was going at it from me where I'm going, oh, that's horrible. She's going, well, actually, this is what's happening. And it was interestingly shot, and how he's actually running the business is very interesting, and where he gets to at the end of the film.
She was looking at it from a very open and shut kind of way, was she? Or?
Yeah, which it surprised me a bit. So
Yep.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. It's funny because there's a lot of films where there's only one story that you're going to get out of that film.
Yes.
Where in this film,
it's got many levels.
It's got many levels.
And you can jump on it and stay at whichever level you want. If you want to just have a car chase movie, it's a car chase movie. Well, at least the last 30 minutes are, because it's like that's a really good car chase, and I'm quite happy with my car chases. We've seen a few good ones now with Baby Driver in this.
But isn't it interesting that it will fill that level for whoever needs that?
That's right.
But it'll have that deeper level for other deeper thinkers.
And this, Pip, is why I come at it from the perception of this is why we see what films are trying to do, because they are different things to different bumblebees.
Oh, no, it just blew my mind that people that I'm related to and I've lived most of my life with.
Yes.
I've got something completely different out of this film.
Yeah, but don't forget. Yeah, but you're
what are you trying to say, Paul?
I'm trying to say... Thank you. Blah, 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 blah. I'm trying to say when I can stumble over my tongue.
Yes, ma'am.
You're not helping.
Yes, ma'am. I would love to pound the erasers.
Oh, now I've lost it.
Who loves peanuts? Anyway.
No, I've lost it. I'm just trying to say that, no, it's gone. It's gone.
Did you like the film, Paul?
I thought it was awesome. I did. I thought it was awesome. I looked at it and I just went, this is one of the strongest low-budget films I've seen in a very, very long time. And there wasn't a lot of money put into this, but it was crisp. Mm-hmm. And the performances were very crisp.
Oh, the performances were amazing.
Yes.
They made you believe it.
Yes. If that man who played the psychopath is not a psychopath, well done him, because he was frightening.
He's from the Gyllenhaal family. It's Jake Gyllenhaal.
Oh, he did an excellent job.
Yeah, and he comes from a family. They all do that sort of thing.
And it is a film that makes you think. And it looks at...
it doesn't make you think. If you wish to think, you can.
That's what I was going to say. You have to remember now, we have been dissecting films for 6 months.
Has it been 6 months?
It's been over 6 months.
And go us.
Go us. And that's going to make an impact on you, and you're going to look at films in a slightly different way because you've had to discuss them ad nauseum and at great level, at great detail, I should say, with somebody who can't get words out of their mouths properly. So... Okay,
I will retract the statement about...
All I'm saying is you've got to cut people a bit of slack because...
Oh, no, it just amazed me.
Yeah.
That's all.
Yeah.
So just all that we all got something totally different out of it.
Yes.
So I guess that's what makes a good film, isn't it? Can cater for the masses.
And that's why I do what I do.
What do you...
Well, in regards to how I score films. Because what I'll see isn't what necessarily other people are going to see. And it doesn't necessarily mean to say that they won't enjoy something for different reasons. And so that's why I try and put as many caveats as I can and just explain what I think the film is, and then let people choose from there.
Okay.
Yeah, it's logical. It's just that you haven't been able to get your head around it for a while, that's all. But I think you're getting there now. I think you're just about...
I just roll my eyes now.
Yes.
But,
so, yes, look, very good.
No, it was told well. The actors did a fabulous job. It looked great.
Yes.
And it went in...
How hot was that car too? It was a great-looking car. What was it, a Mustang? Or a...
You're asking the wrong person.
No, I probably am. Yeah, I can't remember what it was, but it looked great. A Camaro, possibly? I think it might have been a Bumblebee.
It was red.
It was a red Bumblebee.
It was red. But no, it was just the story, and it was no slow pieces in it. It just it rolled flowed really well. Yes,
it was very good.
So,
all right, well,
but it made me cringe a lot. So
yes. Now, what I liked about the film, also that it explored the role that media plays in our society too, and that opens up its own particular conversation. And you know what? He might have been a psychopath, but so is media.
Yes. Because
it has no moral compunctions with destroying people's lives just to get the story.
No. It was, and even telling the truth. Like they were willing, they themselves were willing to withhold information and evidence from the police so they could sell a story.
Was there a good person in that?
The lawyer. The lawyer who said, we can't show this.
Yes.
And he goes, this isn't the right story, we can't do this. But of course...
He usually plays bad guys, that guy.
Does he?
He more often than does.
Well,
more often than not
in
does.
my head, he was the only good guy in this film.
Yes.
Everyone else had their own agendas.
There was at least one voice of logic and, who was trying to do the right thing.
But he was overrated every time. So
he didn't come across as particularly believable either, because everybody else was just going, oh, shit, yeah, let's get this out. And like everybody in here was the sole voice, and you just think, well, how could somebody like that
exist in this industry?
Environment? Well, in particular in the work culture of this particular station.
You're doing really well today.
Oh, it's morning. I'm not a morning person.
I'm sorry.
Yes.
I was unorganised last night.
No, it's all good.
I was still getting over coast drives.
Yes.
But it was... that's what I mean. It wasn't a lot of the violence that made me cringe. It was the social interactions that made me cringe, and how unethical so much of it was that made me go, oh my gosh, and it's so real. Ah!
When did you work out that he was a psychopath?
When he was asking for that job from that guy at the start.
Yep.
Because the way his the facial expressions, and then you could just see him calculating it through, giving the correct response.
Yep.
So you could already see a social issue there.
And he didn't even flinch when he was mortally insulted.
Yes.
Because he didn't get insulted.
Oh, no, because he couldn't care less about what that guy said.
That's right. The guy was just a means to an end.
And even when he was looking at that guy's watch, and you could see him going, you know what? I want that watch. Bang.
Yep, exactly. Look, I found it a problematic movie to watch in that there was so much cringeworthy stuff there, and it was done intentionally, and like the film was brilliant for it.
Yeah.
But it did make me cringe a lot, because there are an awful lot of people behaving awfully bad.
But my brother didn't cringe at all. I said to him, there's parts where I covered my eyes, and he goes, there wasn't a lot of a lot of violence, action, and I said, no, that's not why I was cringing.
You cringed when he went into that house after the bad guys drove off?
No, it was more the dialect he was using when he was talking to people.
Right.
Like some of his... just some of the ways he spoke to her and some of the ways he spoke to other people.
Oh, yeah, no, his
it was more
attitude towards...
It was more when Lewis was talking to people that made me cringe. And what he found... He said... And when he's talking to Rick and explaining to Rick how they were doing things, and Rick sort of giving him a look like... Oh my gosh, you're a crazy guy. And I'm thinking, oh my gosh, I'd be giving that look too.
No, I didn't find that particularly upsetting.
And when he's talking to her...
Yes.
And speaking to her like he thinks that's fine. Yes. But then, of course, I cringed because her responses weren't appropriate enough either.
No. He spoke to her like she was a piece of meat, and she responded in kind.
Well, it wasn't even a piece of meat. He just basically, it was an exchange.
It was. It was a completely transactional relationship. And she was on board with that.
But she was okay with that.
Yes.
And I thought,
because she's a transactional person herself. And that's why I suspect she's got a bit of psychopathic shit going on herself.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because she was totally transactional as well.
Well, I mean, it was just because her 2-year thing was coming up. And
she was like driven by fear. But in that conversation with him, she didn't twitch or get insulted except if she thought that it gave her an advantage in the conversation. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, she didn't get in. There was a couple of times she bucked up a bit, but she didn't. Like, it wasn't long enough or hard enough for it to actually be real. Do you know what I mean? She wasn't actually offended, and so
I think because she knew where he was coming from, and
yes.
then she went right. Well, because at least she can socialise, and she knows he can't. So, but yeah, to me, her character.
But if you're going to be
scary.
offended, you're going to be offended, regardless of who's telling you. You know.
Well, just her fear of losing her job was greater than her fear of this of Lewis.
Well, it overrode all morality in her mind.
Anyway, how many stars would you give this film, Paul?
Well, what's the film trying to do?
Oh, gosh. Are you going to do this all the time?
Well, I'm just in my own mind. I'm just trying to work out. Because, like, I really enjoyed it, but that doesn't necessarily mean to say it was a great film. It doesn't.
Okay.
Because I really enjoy The Beast of War, but it's not a great film. So, but I can't necessarily say, watch this, it's a great film because I enjoyed it. Whereas I can look at it and go, what was it trying to do? And I think what it was trying to do was show the scenario of what a psychopath can do when he's given the opportunity to do so, and given a chance to thrive in a really amoral environment. And it was just an excellent study of humanity, I thought. And I think it achieved that superbly. And so consequently, I'm going to give it a 9.
Okay. I normally don't like films.
Plus, I really enjoyed it.
where the protagonist is bad and also gets to the end of the film and got everything they wanted.
Yes.
So that, for me, was difficult, but it was done so well.
Yes.
That I enjoyed it.
Yes. And he's going to go out the next day, and they just sort of showed it. He waltzes out of the police station.
He was totally in control.
Yes.
Nothing could touch him.
No.
He'd planned it all in his head.
And tomorrow he'd go out and do something equally horrible the next day and just get bigger and better and better.
Like even the look he was giving to Bill Paxton, Joe.
Yes.
As he's filming him from the car accident, you could just see the connection between the two of them. And he's like, I know you did it. And he's like, I know you know, but no one else will.
And nobody else cares.
So
bye-bye.
It was, for me, although I cringed a lot,
Yep.
It was such a good film that I give it an 8.
Yep. An 8. Well, that's very strong from both of us.
I thought it was just done so well. So a lot of people probably cringe. Some people won't even notice.
Apparently not.
But so 9 stars from Paul and 8 stars from me for Nightcrawler.
Excellent. All right. Well, now we are going to do
your magic movie moment. What is it?
Magical movie moment.
What is it this week?
This week, I thought I'd do something a little inspirational. And it's not political or it's got nothing to do with war.
Gosh, is there anything else in your life?
I did. Well, it got me thinking about Al Pacino last week and from Donnie Brasco and how good he is. And so I did a little bit of went off and said, good speeches made by Al Pacino. And, oh, my God, it just goes tuk, 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 all the way down through all of these various different ones. So the guy you could just about do this segment based on Al Pacino.
Oh, please
Seriously.
don't. No, he's great, don't get me wrong, but if it's every week, I'm going to have to go and
guys, we're going to get a few more Al Pacinos, but not all in one foul swoop sort of thing. I'll just space them out sort of thing. But, yeah, he has had some very good roles and absolutely hammers them home.
So which one are you using this week?
This one's from a American gridiron, what do they call it in America? Football? NFL, I think. I don't know. I don't know that much about American football. Sorry, guys.
I think saying American football is good enough.
Good enough, okay. And I'm not a sports person. I think it's fair to say. I think it's very fair to say. And you aren't either. So I thought I'd throw a little bit of red meat to our listeners who do like sport,